Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, guys. You've got your boys here, the best dividend investors here on YouTube. I'll say it every single time, guys. Bert the Hurt Locker and Lanny. Time to talk about another cluster FUC. You know what in our accounts right now, guys. Down 7% today here on June 13th.
Yeah.
Every dog has his day.
Yeah. Smash that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Holler at your boys. The Dividend Dip Low. Matt, let's talk
Man.
here about this dog, Lanny.
Yep, guys. Yeah, we're talking about Paramount stock today. Ticker symbols PARA, formerly Viacom CBS, formerly Viacom, formerly CBS. We're talking about Paramount. This is the true Michael Scott, snip, snap, snip, snap. It's been a cluster, this year here in 2024 with what's going on with Paramount stock. And, if you guys have been riding this roller coaster ride with us, nice job. Have you guys been taking Pepto-Bismol? You've been taking Tums? What's your secret to riding this roller coaster ride? Let us know.
If it's both, you mix them together, let us know too.
Mm,
That matters, everybody. That matters. But a roller coaster is exactly what it's been. And it seems like every single week there's another twist and there's another chaos scenario. There's another acquisition. There's another not acquisition. It's the timeline of events for 2024 for Paramount has been absolutely wild.
yeah, I mean, if we dated back, again, over a year ago, the stock was trading near 20. Over 5 years ago, the stock was actually caught up in the meme craze with GameStop. The trading out of, I think it touched, what, $100 a share or something like that.
Man, we really missed our mark
Dang
on
it.
that one, Lanny. We,
Uh, oh,
yeah,
yeah,
our
missed
bad.
missed the mark there. And again, down 28% this year, down to just over 7 billion in market cap for Paramount Global, guys. Again, what's unique about Paramount Global is because we all pretty much own the Class B shares here. And really, Paramount is controlled by National Amusements, which is managed and ran by, I don't know whose friend, but Sherry Redstone, guys. And it's been a hell of a journey so far in 2024. I'm sure most of us are sitting on unrealized losses. So the time here is, how do we exit the stock appropriately, or how can
Yeah.
we earn premium off this company appropriately?
Yeah, and what makes it challenging is because Sherry owns National Amusement and she has 77% of the voting power. So any deal just goes through her. It's that simple. It's not your normal acquisition. The buck stops through her. And the holding company versus Paramount has a lot of debt too. So there's some conflicting interest for us as Class B shareholders versus what she needs out of an acquisition in the holding company or the company that's invested in Paramount. So that's why this is so difficult to pull off an acquisition.
And we're going to walk through the timeline, the
Yeah.
guys, of this ride, Paramount. At one point in time, an investor named Byron Allen actually offered 14 billion for the company back in January, which is, two times where we're at right
I have nothing more to say but to smirk and just laugh. Um,
But who else
that's
was
really it.
talking to each
Yeah.
other in January and February? Who else was
Everybody is
talking?
it's been like speed dating with them because there was talks of Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Paramount merging to make a super company, a super content powerhouse. Which would be
Yeah.
on take the two companies apart here for a second. Like if just pretend that both of them don't suck right now. Put those two content libraries together in those movie studios, it would be a phenomenal content engine. Like it'd be by far the best IP library and content possibilities out there. It would be awesome for those two. But there are these things called financial statements, Lanny, and that kind of got in the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that did, the debt, the performance, the cost of running these platforms. Obviously, there could be synergies if you're able
Yeah.
to, maybe deactivate one and merge them all into one.
Mhm.
A lot of cost, a lot of debt goes involved in that. So then those die. Those conversations between WBD, another crap company, still has a market cap of over 17 billion, died with Paramount Global. But it wasn't over yet
No.
because during that time period, this company called Skydance,
Mhm.
who partners a lot with the National Amusements Company, they were reviewing, Paramount National Amusements for a merger and acquisition as well. But nothing was, it was more like they're talking, they're looking through details. Skydance is doing due diligence. So again, we had Byron Allen, Warner Brothers Discovery. You got Skydance doing something, but there still is a couple more players, Burton, who also is in the mix.
Well, wait, there's more, Lanny, because out of nowhere, this one was truly out of left field. I remember this one because in May it was reported Sony and Apollo Group want to put together an acquisition package to acquire it all. And it was offering over $26 billion for the entire package. And that was an interesting because this was at the same time Skydance was like the Skydance conversations were happening. So two groups came together and said, this is what we're doing. But remember, Sherry Redstone owns the majority. She has 77% of the voting. She has the say. There was one little caveat, Lanny, of that Sony and Apollo thing that made it not as appetizing to someone who likes the legacy of Paramount.
They wanted to break the company into pieces, and Sherry said, "No, no, no," Dikembe Mutombo style on it.
Yeah, she didn't want to break it up. She wanted to keep looking, keep dancing. So Skydance came back to the table here in June, and Skydance said, all right, Sherry, we talked once, it didn't work out. Let's try this one more time. Let's see what's going to happen here. And that's when the news broke. What was it, a week or two ago, Lanny, of an offer that was agreed to by the strategic planning group, the strategic commission to find the reacquisition. They agreed to it. There was a deal, they enticed it, and what they did was they raised the value of what the Class B shareholders were going to get in an effort to make whole and make all the investors see it. We were going to get $15 per share for 50% of the Class B shares. And then there was also going to be a nice little kicker for National Amusement. They were going to receive $1.5 to $2 billion. So it was they gave out more cash.
Yeah, in total, the deal was going to be, somewhere between, I don't know, 6.5, 7 to $8 billion in total. Um, but Sherry just recently, earlier, I believe it was this week, said
Womp womp womp.
that she turned that down, guys. And that sent the stock price tumbling back now, not just below 12, but below 11. And you're pretty
Mhm.
much almost at $10 a share at $10.35 right now.
Yeah, and there have been a few reports this week of other ones that are people who are dipping their toes in there, but nothing serious. I think it was some guy named Edgar Bronfman. Was gonna might make an offer. Sony might come back. I don't know. Nothing serious yet.
Bottom line is, I think it would be great to see if Warner Brothers Discovery can somehow figure it out, because it's like just match the two companies. Because hey, maybe it would be even more valuable for Sherry to do that, and
Hmm.
then to have that to go to Skydance at some point. I don't know. I could
Yeah,
just see it down the line. But what about us, the shareholders of
yeah.
these Class B
That's
shares? I'm sitting on well over 100 shares. Bert, I think you're sitting on well over 100 shares. I know a year in the past, I think I was writing quite a few options on this stock.
yeah,
Um,
in the 20s too. I remember that.
yeah,
We had
yeah,
some
you remember
options in the
that.
20s, but right now you'd be hard pressed to find one in the
Yeah,
20s, let alone $15, considering she just turned down that offer. So what are your
yeah.
thoughts here with that, Lanny? What are some
Well,
potential options that you have with
well,
options for Paramount?
yeah, when the stock is going to be, if I see it in the green, I'm going to write probably 1 to 2 week, covered call options, because I own 100 shares. I'm going to go out of the money, call options, because I'm like, I need to get some money back here.
Mhm,
So I might go closer, a little bit higher on the delta, because I also don't want to own the shares anymore. So I don't care if they get assigned at a premium, right? I
mhm.
collect the premium, and if it gets somehow, if it comes back into the money and the shares get taken, sweet.
Yeah. Do
But
you,
and I can keep rinsing and repeating that.
yeah, do you have a target dollar amount in mind
Well,
that
at
you would
this point, if we were about to almost accept $15 a share, that's kind of like the bar, right?
Mhm.
Anywhere in that 15 to 22 range in my eyes on Paramount stock. And, again, it could be a fun one to also do. If you have cash, you could do cash secured puts because of how volatile the stock is. You can also think like, okay, they're worth 15. They're probably not going to go below 8. Maybe you could start doing cash secured puts on the red days, shorter ones, just so you can grab some premium there as well. So you could actually do both. If you have cash and you own the shares, you could
Yeah.
start playing the cash secured puts and writing covered calls on this darn piece of, you know,
Yeah, and that's a huge option for shareholders. Another one that's been kicked around is just buying some stock outright. If you just want to buy it, lower your cost basis and know that where there's smoke, there's fire. You just don't know what kind of fire it's going to be, where there's going to be an acquisition at some point. It's just what's the value going to be? And that's an option. If the price dips below $10 per share, could be appetizing. You could pick up 10 to 20 more shares, lower your cost basis at a very cheap price too.
what is the value? What about you guys? Are
Hmm.
you guys just selling your stock outright? I'm talking to the current shareholders. Congratulations to everybody that got out years ago or last year or the year before that. Congrats. But what about the current shareholders? What are you doing? Do you have your limit sell price already input into your brokerage? Let us know kind of what your thoughts are and what you're doing with this stock.
If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and remember, you're either with us or you're against us, Jack.
That was Bert, the Hurt, and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats, over and out.